With the new year comes New Year's resolutions, and many of us, we want to get healthier, but actually achieving those goals, that can be a little more difficult. Here to help us with that, we have Dr. Ashley Aratani, an orthopedic oncologist with Hawaii Pacific Health and a former collegiate athlete. Good morning, doctor.
Good morning.
So how do we make our resolutions stick?
So I think there are a couple of things that we can do. One is setting realistic goals, right? So if you haven't really been exercising routinely and you say, I'm going to exercise 7 days a week, that's a very difficult goal to achieve. And if you're not going to be able to achieve it, it's more likely that you're going to stick with these exercises. So I think setting realistic goals is important. And I think a second important aspect is doing something that's easy for you to do, something that's easily accessible. And so if you have a gym next door or really close by within walking distance, that's one way to get your exercise in. For people who are pressed for time, sometimes doing free online classes can be really helpful as well.
All right, so Dr. Aratani, she knows all about exercise and fitness. She played volleyball at the University of Washington. Very cool. What about, do you have any exercises that we can get started with?
Yes, exactly. So walking is a great way to start exercising. All you have to do is go out your door and you've got some nice sun from our lovely state of Hawaii. Swimming is a great way to exercise too. You get your aerobic exercise in, but it's also easy on the joints. Me personally, again, I'm also sometimes pressed for time. I have a really unpredictable schedule, and so going on the exercise bike for me is how I get my exercise in. It's easy, accessible, and it's a great way to get aerobics.
And another easy way, maybe accessible way, is to do the HPH Women's 10K and 5K Fun Run.
Yes, exactly. So that is coming up January 26th. The 10K starts at 7 a.m. The 5K starts at 7:20 a.m. and registration is now open.
So, doctor, you must see a lot of injuries in the Women's Bone and Joint Clinic at Kapilani Medical Center for Women and Children. For women that are running the 10K or the 5K, how can they prevent injury?
I think a really big thing that people tend to overlook in general is stretching and warming up. So I think that's really important for injury prevention. Another thing that we want to think about is not making this our first big event of the year. So you want to kind of work up to that 5K, 10K, particularly if you're not used to running or walking those distances. So starting ahead of time, maybe even now, would be a great time to start building up to those distances. And I think hydration is super important. So before you exercise, while you're doing the run, and as well as afterwards, I think those are really helpful in preventing injury.
So can you tell us a little bit more about the Women's Bone and Joint Clinic at Kapilani?
Yes, so it's myself and my partner, Dr. Maria Opanova, who are seeing women patients there. I specialize in orthopedic oncology, which is bone and soft tissue tumors, both cancerous and non-cancerous. And Dr. Opanova specializes in hip and knee surgeries and replacements. But we're seeing all women in this clinic for all different types of ailments coming in from urgent cares and things like that. And this is just, it's a clinic to keep the women of Hawaii healthy and strong. They're taking care of us, so we want to take care of them.
Yeah, thank you for that. And also thank you for our inspiration, because we're going to need some help going into the new year.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Thank you, doctor.
Yeah.
And thank you for helping to make this a healthier Hawaii.